Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
It will cost $1.9 billion to rebuild that bridge in Baltimore. If Baltimore had $1.9 billion lying around, it would get the hell out of Baltimore. Today is National Teachers Day, although the fact that you have no idea where to put the apostrophe kind of undercuts the whole thing. Chris Pratt learned to become a cat to prepare for his role in Garfield. He did such a good job that Taylor Swift adopted him.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in Monday for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Kate, do you buy scratch-offs lottery tickets?
I do not, but I love doing them.
Okay. Well, how's this for beginner's luck? There's a woman in Virginia, also named Caitlin.
Look at that.
Yeah, Caitlin Berland is her name. She bought her first ever lottery ticket last month. First ever. Are you ready for this? You might want to sit down. She won $50,000.
Oh, good for her.
It gets better because she did the generous thing. She's using it to pay off her sister's college tuition.
How sweet.
All I'm thinking of is, when is my brother going to win the lottery?
Right?
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Pearl Jam, Northeast PA's classic rock, your ultimate bingo bash station. If you're a caring guy who knows how to build a lean-to shelter, you might be offended by this. It's Prospector on Rock 107. Kate, have you seen the whole man or bear question that's been super viral on social media?
Yes, I have, absolutely.
So you actually know what I'm talking about.
I absolutely do.
In case you don't, someone asked women, would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man? And I'm assuming that's a man you don't know.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes.
Okay. If you look for it on TikTok, you're going to find tons of videos. There's millions. One will be where a guy asked 8 women on the street, and 7 of them I said bear.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Man is scary. With a bear. What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
Now, most of that, it seemed like it was done in Britain, that particular one, but I don't think the answers changed that much here in the States, right?
No.
So,
absolutely
Kate,
not.
what about you? Stuck in the woods, alone, bear, man.
I am absolutely picking the bear.
Team
I'm picking
bear.
the bear. Well, one, let me just say this. The
Yeah.
bear isn't going to tell me to put a smile on.
That's true.
The bear, when I leave the forest, is not going to follow me home.
Most likely.
Is not going to follow me home and is not going to try and enter my house. Mm-hmm. If I leave the bear alone, it is most likely going to leave me alone.
Right.
It's not just going to approach me and ask for my phone number. And the bear is most likely not going to know how to spike my drink.
That's
so I am
true.
absolutely picking the bear.
And look, I get it. Now, plenty of women are defending guys, saying it's a ridiculous question that's not being answered honestly, but I think it's good that it sparked the discussion about how safe or unsafe women feel around men in general. Because let's be honest, some men are more than a lot and are dangerous and idiotic.
Yeah, and it's not to say that some women aren't a lot, but
No.
if I'm stuck in the woods with a woman or a bear, I'm picking the woman. It should speak volumes.
I guess. I just don't know how. I know this. A bear will eventually shut up.
Oh!
He's quirky and cranky, and that makes for a lot of awkward interactions.
What a jerk.
Help Prospector learn from his mistakes. It's time for Am I a Jerk? On Rock 107.
All right, so I'm on my way back from New York City. I was out there Sunday during the 5-borough bike ride, and on the way back, we stop at a gas station, a convenience store, to grab a bite. Kate, you know what I'm talking about, like a Sheetz or a Wawa or something? Okay, wasn't one of those brands. So I get stuff, head to the counter. There's 2 people behind the counter chatting. Are you working Tuesday? No, I'm working this day. Well, I'm working Thursday. Who's working Wednesday? Blah, blah, blah. That goes on for about 45 seconds as I'm standing at the counter. So I said to them, are either of you working right now? Because I need to be checked out. Does that make me a jerk? What do you think?
I do not think it makes you a jerk.
if I'd gone, are either of you working right now? Because I need to be checked out.
Yeah, you were polite about it. You were waiting.
So if I scream, though, then I'm a jerk.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I only waited a little while, but all right, let's find out what the world thinks. We're going to hit up Karen from Warrior Run on the Rock Lines, Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
I was laughing so hard when I read the comments, and I put my comment in there. That was priceless. It was excellent. I'm still laughing so hard. So, no, you were definitely not a jerk on this one.
Joe on Facebook.com/Kate Rock 107 said, 45 seconds. I don't miss the rushed rudeness at all. They're not a jerk here. You would be the jerk.
All right. Okay.
Kelly on the same page said, you are not a jerk this time. Their conversation should have ended as soon as you approached the counter.
And that's what I was always taught when I worked in retail. Like, the customer comes up, keep your mouth, just turn to them and direct your attention that way. I got to check in. Open mic from the Rock 107 app. Am I a jerk?
Prospector, this is Dave from the shopping. No, you're not a jerk on this one.
Yes!
Michelle on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the perfect response, so you are not a jerk.
Nice.
Kim said, I'm all for passive-aggressive, but talking to people like they are not people is outdated and you have bad taste.
Well, I don't think I did that, but
yeah.
okay.
It seems like you were, stern, but not rude.
Okay. Frank from Lake Ariel in on the Rock Lines. Dude, am I a jerk?
All right. Well, it's all about the tone, like you guys said. If you said it nice and casual, you're not a jerk because they're getting paid to work. But if you raised your voice, then you were being a complete Karen, then you'd be a jerk. So
yeah.
I'm going to go with you're not a jerk for now.
Yeah. It's situational. You can't come in too hot, but you got to be,
right.
You got to be stern.
Right. I mean, they're there for a reason, though. They're getting paid to work, and when they're not working, they're just as bad.
All right. I feel a little bit better about this one.
Michaela from my Facebook said, no, I pulled a quote-unquote prospector yesterday at the pharmacy. She asked me who I was picking up for. I said my son's name. She asked anyone else, and I said myself and my first name. And she goes, well, what's your last name? And I said, the same as mine.
You would think that would make sense, but I get it. All right. In the question today of am I a jerk for saying to the two people chatting behind the counter after 45 seconds of waiting at that counter, are either of you working right now because I need to be checked out? The answer, according to you, Northeast PA, is no, I am not a jerk.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
It may not be a sin to play Candy Crush in church, but it's definitely not cool to force Jesus to pay for your in-app purchases. A 51-year-old Catholic priest in Pennsylvania named Lawrence Kozak allegedly used a church credit card to spend over $40,000 on power-ups and mobile games.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, in 3 years.
Woo.
That's a ton of money. And it wasn't just like a weekend thing. It took a long time for him to do it. The accountant at the church, discovered the astronomical amount of Apple transactions on the church credit card statements. The detectives talked to him. They also found out that he purchased a Fire tablet for his goddaughter. When police first talked to Lawrence, he admitted to having a mobile game addiction, and he denied he intentionally used church funds. He later says it's possible he had accidentally used church funds to buy power-ups and that he wasn't a details guy.
Nominee number 2.
You don't have to hurt someone to be charged with the crime. Police in Florida responded to a trespassing at a convenience store on Wednesday, and one of the cops was assaulted. That officer was hit by a cheeseburger.
I am so mad that we missed the memo that we were just throwing food out the window.
Whipping food at each other is evidently a thing now. All over the last week or so in Yam Bag stories, it's spaghetti, cheeseburger. This guy, he actually had a mark on his thigh, burger residue on his thigh. The man was charged with misdemeanor trespassing and battery on a law enforcement officer, which is a felony.
And the winner is
the priest who spent $40K on Candy Crush using the church's credit card.
I just can't get over how much money that is.
That's a ton. You are the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week. Weekday mornings on Rock 107.